Once upon a time, in a world much like our own but filled with wonders beyond imagining, there lived a man named Elias. He was not a king, nor a warrior, nor a wealthy merchant. He was a simple man with a dream so vast it could barely fit inside his heart. Elias wanted to build a world, not just any world, but one where every step a person took would be upon something he had created with his own hands. He wanted to shape the very ground beneath people's feet, to craft the earth itself so that no one would ever feel lost or alone upon it. Elias was a builder, a craftsman of the earth. He worked with stone and soil, with clay and sand, shaping them into paths, roads, and foundations. But his dream was bigger than just laying bricks or carving steps into mountains. He wanted to create a world so complete, so full of life and beauty, that those who walked upon it would never know hunger or fear or sorrow. And so, he set out to do the impossible. For years, Elias traveled far and wide, gathering the finest materials, learning the secrets of the earth from the oldest sages, and listening to the whispers of the wind and the rivers. He knew that to build a world, he must first understand it. And so he studied the way roots held the soil together, how stones could be stacked to last for centuries, and how water could carve its own path through the hardest rock. With each passing year, Elias grew wiser, but he also grew weaker. The work was hard, and his hands bore the marks of countless cuts and bruises. His back ached from lifting heavy stones, and his eyes grew tired from squinting in the dim light of dawn as he laid the foundations of his world. But he never complained. Every morning he rose with the sun and worked until the stars appeared in the sky. One day, as he was shaping a great plain where children would one day run and play, a traveler came upon him. The traveler was an old man with a long white beard and eyes that sparkled like the night sky. "What are you doing?" the old man asked. "I am building a world," Elias replied, wiping the sweat from his brow. The old man looked around at the half-finished fields, the winding paths still covered in dust, and the distant mountains yet to be carved. "It is a fine dream," he said. "But do you not see? The world is already here. Why waste your life trying to build what already exists?" Elias smiled. "The world may be here, but it is not yet complete. It is full of sharp edges and dark corners, of places where people stumble and fall. I want to smooth those edges, to fill those corners with light. I want to create a world where no one has to walk in fear." The old man sighed. "And what will happen when you are gone? Who will finish your work?" Elias looked down at his worn hands. "I do not know. But if I can leave behind even a single path that makes someone's journey easier, then my life will have been worth it." The old man said nothing more. He simply nodded and walked away, disappearing into the horizon like a shadow swallowed by the sun. Years turned into decades. Elias grew old, his hair white as snow, his hands trembling as he placed the last stone upon a great bridge that spanned a rushing river. His body was tired, his breath shallow, but his heart was full. He had done it. He had shaped valleys and hills, carved roads through forests, and built shelters where travelers could rest. His world was not perfect. No world ever could be, but it was kinder than the one he had known as a child. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Elias sat upon a hill overlooking the land he had spent his life creating. He closed his eyes and listened to the wind, to the distant laughter of children playing in a village he had helped build. He smiled, knowing that his work would live on long after he was gone. And then, quietly, without fanfare or tears, Elias breathed his last. When the people of the land learned of his passing, they mourned. But they also remembered. They walked upon the roads he had laid, crossed the bridges he had built, and rested in the shade of the trees he had planted. They told stories of the man who had given his life to make their world a better place. And though his name was not carved into grand monuments or sung in great halls, it lived on in the earth itself, in every step they took upon the ground he had shaped. Generations passed. The world changed, as worlds always do. Wars were fought, kingdoms rose and fell, and new builders came with new dreams. But beneath it all, hidden like a secret in the soil, was the work of Elias. His roads still carried travelers safely home. His bridges still stood strong against the floods, and his fields still fed the hungry. No one remembered his face. No one could recall the sound of his voice. But his hands had shaped the world they stood upon, and in that way, Elias would never truly be gone. And so, as you close your eyes tonight, remember this. The world beneath you was built by those who came before. Some names are lost to time, but their work remains. Walk gently upon the earth, for you stand on the dreams of those who dared to build a better world, even if it cost them everything. And with that thought, let sleep carry you away into dreams of your own. Good night.